Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with a review for the Star Wars Holiday Special because it's May the 4th and may the 4th be with you. And it's ironic for a movie that celebrates the fictionalized holiday of Life Day that you want to sit there and die the entire time while you're watching it, as I did. This is the holy relic of the Star Wars saga. It is a television film that aired once in 1978 and was so bad that George Lucas tried to bury it forever, and in doing so created this monolith that people need to find for themselves to see if it truly exists and it's truly as bad as people say. And let me tell you, it is as bad as people say. This is a movie where Han Solo and Chewbacca are trying to get back to Chewbacca's home planet of, as we would later learn, Kashyyyk, to celebrate Life Day with his family. And then you are thrust into the next 11 minutes of screen time with Chewbacca's family, who speak Wookie. And it's not subtitled. And it just has to happen to you, and you have to let it. So for the next little bit, I'm going to do this entirely in Wookiee to give you a window into what it's like. It's like that, except it goes on longer, and I did embarrass myself doing this, as the people who performed in this embarrassed themselves by being in it. Weirdly enough, this movie stars Harrison Ford in a couple of scenes, who gives more energy in this than he did to anything in the last 20 years, which is kind of weird. This is, I'm pretty sure, the tipping point where he was like, what am I doing with my life? I don't know why I'm in this anymore. I shouldn't care any longer, and I'm not gonna. That is kind of his speed throughout most of the rest of like his career with the Han Solo character. But yeah, it's weird. He's given like high energy performance and he's engaged, and is really the only one that is. Mark Hamill is also in this in a scene or two where he pops up looking coked out of his mind. I've never seen that man's eyes more wide open than like ever. It's just shocking. And then the film, spoiler alert, culminates with Carrie Fisher singing the Star Wars theme with lyrics this time, and how the lyrics all celebrate Life Day. This is George Lucas's determination to bury this is what made it the most relevant thing in the world for a true Star Wars fan, because they need to see it and experience it. And I got a chance to do so back in the VHS days. I found it at a Comic-Con and I bought it and I watched it and hated myself for doing so, because like that section on Kashyyyk where you're just listening to the Chewbacca family talk and then watching the grandfather of Chewbacca getting off to porn, which actually happens in this, and like hearing something like that out loud makes you need to see something like this. But then when you're actually sitting there watching this, it's really a self-corrective moment where you're contemplating why you do the things you do and why you like the things you like. Because you're watching somebody else watching porn. It's weird. There's a sequence where Jefferson Airplane plays music, and then there's like acrobats. This is really the Star Wars by way of the Carol Burnett show, where it's just like sketch comedy sprinkled throughout. None of it is funny, none of it lands, but then there's musical numbers here and there that kind of break the plot up into different segments, and it's so bad, just literally indescribably bad. So much, it's so bad that you really truly do need to see it to believe how bad it is. The one and only high mark of quality that this film has, besides Harrison Ford's commitment to the performance, is this is the story that introduces Boba Fett. It does it in an animated sequence, which I think is the only thing publicly available ever for this, which I believe is on Disney Plus. I could be wrong, but it exists out there, and it's good in the sense that it's better than everything surrounding it, but you still want to die no less while you watch that part. And the only thing that makes it slightly interesting is you're like, it's Boba Fett, he shows up later, I guess. But you're still like suffering from the inner turmoil and pain of having to endure everything else that you're watching. This is actual torture. Especially if you are a committed Star Wars fan. I don't like it. There's nothing to like about it. It's weird that they got the whole band back together with the sole exception of Darth Vader, but they used deleted scenes from A New Hope to incorporate Darth Vader and James Earl Jones reprising his voice of Vader into the story. I just can't believe that at a certain point in time, Star Wars was the biggest thing in the world, and then the fans only had that one movie to go off of with the promise that there would be not one but two more, and the only thing to tide them over until that second movie was this. I think I would have hopped off the Star Wars train instantly. Like, Empire Strikes Back had to be as good as it was to redeem Star Wars from this. And thank God Empire is as good as it is, because hot damn, this is truly Star Wars at its absolute worst. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. What is your least favorite segment of this? Mine would probably be a toss-up between the, like, Jefferson Airplane 7-minute long performance or the dude teaching you how to cook with the multiple arms. That is pretty unwatchable. Or when B. Arthur, my least favorite of the Golden Girls, croons a song at the cantina bar for like 11 minutes. God, just knowing that I saw this more than once is causing me to relive it, and the flashbacks are like true PTSD. What's your least favorite part? I guess Chewbacca's granddad getting off to that cyber woman was pretty weird too. Anyway, share your story about the holiday special. I found it once on VHS, hated my life so much that I wanted to get it out of my life forever. And then, shortly after Wes Craven passed away, I wanted to go and track down every Wes Craven memorabilia ever. And I knew a person who is like a pirater and had praised himself on having access to everything. And I asked him if he had this obscure Wes Craven TV show from the late 80s, early 90s. And he's like, Nightmare Cafe. And I was like, no, it's not that. It's this thing, I think it was called The Other Side or The Other People. The Other People. And he had never heard of it. And because he was stumped, he was like, you know what? I've never been stumped before, ever. Because of that, I'm going to give you this. And he slid me a copy of the holiday special, something that I had willfully rid from my life, now thrust back in. I don't know if that was like some kind of abject punishment to give me that, but that's my story with the holiday special. I currently own it as punishment for tricking a man who is gifted at finding all media. Anyway, what's your story with the holiday special? May the 4th be with you. Next May the 4th, I'll come at you with hopefully something substantially better than this. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.